Happy Sunday to any and all joining. Give it a few seconds. Just have a few people popping in. Running a little late today. I think what, a couple minutes late maybe? What's going on, Terry? How are you? To a Patriot, hello. Terry, hello. Richard, again, hello. As you guys start popping in, just give a quick hello. Feel free to tell me where you're coming in from. ASL, all of that AOL chat stuff we used to do. I appreciate that, Katie. Thank you. Not too much. Tammy Owens is in the house. Michelle, how are you? What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday. Kristen, how are you? Andrew, Joyce, Stacy, Peter, and Stacy, Terry. Here we go. We're filling up now. Denton, Texas. Another from Texas, Michigan, Augusta, Georgia. Hey, Raylene. Milwaukee. What's going on, y'all? How is everybody? South Carolina, Paula? I'm in South Carolina as well, right on the panhandle. Hi, Rosie. I see you. Kim, Rusty, Kate Thayer. How are you? Yeah, we've got some weather going on outside too. I'm not sure if it's going to be anything bad. Katie says my 19-year-old said he wants you to quiz him. I'd love to do that sometime, Katie. That sounds like fun. What's going on, Melinda from Rhode Island? Rhoda, good to see you. How are you? Barbara, Melinda, Tanya, everybody's filling in. Close to Myrtle Beach. I'm about 3 hours up from you, right near Charlotte. Greetings coming in from Ann Arbor. How are you, R.E.? Hey, from London, UK. How are you? Back to work tomorrow after 2 weeks. I'm actually on vacation tomorrow. Loving the stormy weather. We might get some here, so if I go off, it might be because of bad weather. Katie, I'd love to facilitate that. That's a great idea. That's something we can probably do. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I will put something in the community section of YouTube. There's a community section of YouTube. It's, for lack of a better word, it's kind of like a Facebook front wall. I post pictures there and stuff. I'll post something there, and maybe we can get something started where we quiz some of the youngins. Maybe even on a live. I see Tanya from Virginia. How are you, Doreen? Good to see you. How are things in Tampa? Headed to your state tomorrow. Hey, you guys. I see Andrew talking about the Goonies. San Diego coming in with Anthony. 1970 in the house, 1970 here. I will definitely let you know. How much money would we have if we didn't put all of our baseball cards in our bicycle spokes? Yeah, or if our mothers did. I don't know if your mom was like mine. I call it Greek momming because I only thought Greek mothers did it. But all of my stuff that would have had any value, my comic books, my toys, my baseball cards, all got tossed away. I left them out, which is a sin in a Greek household. If you leave things out where your mother can get at them, then you're not taking care of your things. And if you're not taking care of your things, then your things got thrown away. So like living 3 feet from a brush fire here, I'll find out. I'll be on my way there tomorrow. 67 here, comics. Yeah, I had tons of comics. All of my Star Wars toys gone. I guess I'm effing invisible. How are you walking with God? Not invisible, but there are a few of you in here and one of me. So doing the best I can. Not real Gen X of you to complain about it, though. 119 degrees yesterday. Youch. Yeah, it's in the 90s here. My grandmother donated her stuff as we outgrew them. There wasn't stuff to donate for us. It started with my older brother, got handed down to me, got handed down to my younger brother. Once it went to my younger brother, whatever was left, whatever didn't disintegrate into dust, became rags, became patches for other clothes. Everything pretty much got worn out. Garbage pail kids. I remember those. My younger brother was big with those. Thank you, Rhoda. Appreciate it. Hand-me-downs were a huge thing for us growing up. So, hey, from time to time, I'll get a message for someone. I've been seeing if Patrick was going to jump in here. I don't see him yet. But one of the followers on here who's awesome, Patrick, saw that I was struggling to find some MD 2020, some Mogan David, some Mad Dog, as we colloquially called it. And Nicole here, originally from Buffalo, now living near Toronto. Nice. He saw my struggle and realized I couldn't find it. So He sent me some Orange Jubilee. Mad Dog 2020 Orange Jubilee. Now, I don't know if I should drink this because for something that cost like $1.99 when we were kids, it's almost priceless to me right now because this stuff is hard to find where I am. So I'm trying to figure out what is the best use for this. Um, and I guess once I use it, I could always fill it up with like Tang or something to make it look like it's still back there. Um, but I'm trying to figure out, thank you, Anthony, appreciate it. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. And my taste buds are going through PTSD. Danger, danger. Stacy, Andrew, don't drink it. Do you have any extra stomper tires? I don't have stomper tires. I've got the soccer bopper punches up there. I don't know what I should do with it. Irish lover in the house. Dude, thank you. I wore hand me down so I got my first job and bought my own clothing and shoes. Facts. We got jobs so that we could buy what we wanted when we wanted it because we were living under our parents' roofs as they reminded us daily. And if they were buying something, it wasn't bought to our liking, it wasn't bought to our taste. I don't remember my mother ever deciding whether or not the clothes I was wearing were clothes I liked until I got old enough to get a job. And that was the point. If you want clothes you like, you buy them. You get a job. You do it. Raylene says, don't drink it. Trigger warning. I got to do something with it. I'm wondering, do I drink the whole thing on a live? Like do a 1 hour live and drink both bottles and see if it does anything to me. If I'm any different at the end of the live than I was at the beginning of the live. And then I'm wondering, would YouTube kick me out for drinking on a live? I guess I would have to see if it meets standards, but I think it would be fun to see if I'd get knocked out by that stuff. I don't drink much and it's not real strong, but entire bottles might do it to me. Doreen says drink it live. My mom made a lot of clothes. Yes, I will watch. I think it could be fun to watch. Um, you will be ill. More than likely, I will be ill. That's a given. So I do a lot of Everclear videos too because we all drank it. We drank it as jungle juice. We drank it as trash can punch. We didn't drink it straight. Now some say you did. That's fine. I did not. I drank it mixed. But younger people are drinking it straight now and finding out why they should not. Um, and then some told me I should try it, and that's just not going to happen. It would hurt too much. Thank you, Frank Mathis. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. First super on a live stream. Gina says, absolutely love your content. Just do a shot of it. Have to mix it. You can't drink Everclear straight. I don't think I could survive it. But that's it. That would be just say no. Nancy Reagan would be proud. Um, the Everclear people have told me over and over again. I've gotten so many direct messages. Please just do it. But it's a no-win situation. If I drink it and don't react, then it's not funny. And it won't travel. It won't get a lot of views. Or people will think I just drank water and faked it. If I make an ass of myself and spill it out all over the place, well, then I've just embarrassed myself and thrown away my GenX card. So I just don't think there's a way to win with Everclear. But that stuff I think I might do on a live. Am I from Buffalo, Brian? I grew up outside of Rochester, New York, in a small town called Wolcott, New York. Went to school at the University of Buffalo and lived there for about 10 years thereafter. So I spent a lot of time in Buffalo, and some of my best years, 18 till about 29, was spent in Buffalo. Just use it to fill up your Zippo. Night Train, I never did Night Train. MD 2020, you can order MD 2020 online. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Everclear, I got another Everclear video coming soon. People keep sending them to me, so I keep mixing them up. Never did Night Train. Did the MD 2020, but early. Brian, you know Wolcott? That's crazy. Really tiny town. We drank it because it was cheap. It was dirt cheap. It was like $2. So even if we paid the bum using language we used back then, the hygienically challenged, the employed challenge. I don't know. We called them bums. We would pay the bum $5 to go in and buy us MD 2020. All right. So if you're from the Finger Lakes, Canandaigua, you know where we are. Whippets, I know what they are. Never did it. Aftershock, I drank. Buffalo, Rochester, Wolcott. Wolcott's a great place to grow up. If you hear a lot of my stories, people will sometimes say, I didn't grow up like that. My parents knew where I was. And I'm like, well, that's fine. Your parents knew where you were. You were loved and cherished and all those good things. My parents had no clue where I was, not because they didn't love me, but because we were Greek and they owned a diner in town and it kept them busy over there. And that fact is, we grew up in a very, very small town, so they didn't really worry about us. Uh, Outsiders coming in from Rochester, we drive the hood and buy alcohol because they wouldn't check IDs. Hey, Wendy from Bradenton, how are you? Glad to have you here, even though you're a little late. Metal Spirit. Mad Dog was $1.99. You're right, plus tax. Purple Passion, I remember. Cisco, I heard about. I think I just stuck with what I knew, which was Mad Dog. We played Wolcott in sectionals. What'd you play? Soccer? Because there was a big soccer town. The gainfully self-unemployed, unabused gentlemen, hobos. Do you guys remember being hobos for Halloween? How politically incorrect was that? We actually there were Halloweens where you just didn't prepare. You had no idea. You procrastinated. You waited too long. You didn't go to the store. You didn't buy the plastic Halloween costumes that were incredibly flammable with the razor sharp mouthpiece and the mask that made you suffocate as you breathed back your own CO2. And when you didn't prepare, your mom just took dirt, put it on your face, threw you on some old clothes, put a stick on your shoulder with a bag on the end, and you were a hobo. Very politically incorrect, but you can't be a Gen Xer if you weren't either a hobo, a gypsy, or both at least once at some point on some Halloween. Strawberry Hill, Boone's Farm, definitely. I was a hobo one year with coffee grounds for a beard. You're right, it was coffee grounds. I said dirt, but it was coffee grounds. Robber. I remember many years doing a hobo for Halloween. I dressed up as a hobo one year and another year Punky Brewster. That would have been good. Anthony says Jolt Cola was the most daring thing I drank. I went as Mike on the bicycle. I didn't get that. Scarecrow was a big one. Hamburglar would be an awesome costume. I want to be a ghost next year, but I want to be Charlie Brown ghost. I want the multiple holes. I think that would be funny. Oh, punk rocker. The box costumes were the worst and the best, and they're coming back now. There are adult versions of those box costumes that are available now. Had a basic training buddy from Wolcott back in 88. If it was back in 88, I graduated in 88, I'd be willing to say that I probably knew him, Roger. Shoe polish for the beard? Go Bills. My mother was too uppity to allow any of her kids to do hobo. Yeah, my mom was not uppity. I went as a serial killer, spelled Cereal, knife through a cereal box. E.T. and Mike on the bicycle. I got you now. Yeah, I did a lot of Halloween content. Those of you here on YouTube, I wasn't on YouTube back in Halloween, so I don't have it here yet. I'll push some of it out next year. But I had a lot of people. There's Maddie. I had a lot of people send me their old costume pictures. So I literally have hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures that are from actual Gen Xers that follow me that sent me their costumes. And some of the best content I've put out. I can't wait to do it again. But it looks like the general consensus is to drink the Mad Dog on a live. I think I can do that. Your channel, I love your channel. Dressed up as the church lady, that would be a great costume. Do I remember Spirit Week in high school? Yeah, and they still do it. My daughter's in middle school now, and even the one that graduated before her, they did Spirit Week. Hobo Superman and a poor farm. That lost me there. Didn't quite get that one, Gold Dragon. 50s greasers, scary plastic masks. Those plastic masks were, like I said, the mouthpiece was sharp enough it was like a razor. And we all just kept putting our tongues in it for some reason until we were a bloody mess. Mickey's Malt Liquor. Can you send me a link to join channel? You lost me, Gina, because you're here. You're here, which is a link to join the channel. Not sure what you're looking for. Rhoda, maybe just if we share with her the link to my page. I don't know. I don't know what you're looking for, hon. What is the worst cheesy, scary movie you ever saw? Jeff Gordon, we're throwing topics out. Joseph, the worst scary, cheesy movie. There's a movie called April Fool's Day, which was pretty cheesy, and I really liked it. Nobody was really in it, and it was just one of those Jump versions. Gina probably needs to subscribe. Yeah, if somebody has a chance and can throw a link, I would think you'd be able to, once you get out, just look up GenX Jono and you'll find me. Um, yeah, April Fool's Day, probably the cheesiest scary movie I ever saw. Oh, you've seen it? See, nobody ever really sees it. Oh, I appreciate that, Joseph. Leprechaun? Leprechaun, the cool thing about Leprechaun was that that movie was kind of like almost direct to video release. So back when we were all running to Blockbuster Video every weekend, we would go and we'd hope that Indiana Jones or 1989 Batman movie was there. I'm not sure what she's asking. Or any of the new releases. You know, you'd walk in and there would look like there's a ton of them, but then you'd get up and realize there was nothing behind it. So that's setting you on a mission to find something else to watch. And Leprechaun was like one of those movies that tricked me into thinking it was worth watching because they put Jennifer Aniston on the cover. And she was barely in it at all. But once she hit it big with Friends, they re released. Yes, exactly, Nikki. But she didn't actually star in it. It was a small part. They got rid of her real quick, if I remember right. But they threw her on the cover once that she goes big, and idiots like me ended up by renting the movie. Nope, you're right, Wayne. She was definitely in it. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Hey, what's going on, Wirehead? Good to see you, buddy. Gen X 67. Pre-nose job, Jennifer Aniston. I don't know if Jennifer Aniston got a nose job or if that was just Rachel. It was not, it was, I was going to say it wasn't cheesy, but it was kind of cheesy, actually. Plan 9 from Outer Space. This is the plan that worked, according to Jerry R.E. Johns. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Again, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I loved scary movies, though. I've always said it, as long as they follow the rules. Can't hurt any children, can't hurt any animals. Do what you want with everybody else. Silent Night, Deadly Night. That was cheesy. Children of the Corn. I don't know if Children of the Corn is cheesy, but you know what's funny? So I work in a restaurant. If you watch some of my videos from time to time, I'll quiz the young kids about Gen X stuff, the servers and such in the videos. But what I've learned with a lifetime of experience owning restaurants, working in restaurants, bartending, is the children that most often are allowed to misbehave in a restaurant. Now, I'm not talking about children that misbehave and get reprimanded. Kids will misbehave given an opportunity. That's why they're kids. But the kids that are allowed to misbehave, that just run into servers, are running like crazy, those Children of the Corn children always have a name like the kids did in Children of the Corn. It's never Johnny, will you please sit down, as the kid is just wreaking havoc. It's always Jedediah or Isaiah or Ezekiel. The worst behaved children in a public setting always have stone white hair like the ones that lived in the corn, and they all have biblical names. Prove me wrong. Hey, Gina. Hey, Wirehead, Ezekiel. Malachi. Malachi's a big one. Keep zapping them, Rhoda. You're doing a great job. Drunk with power. Malachi. But they are. Those were always the kids. Whenever my daughters were bullied in school, it was always some kid with a name like that, the old Bible names. Never could figure it out. So I think those are the parents that would truly instill fear into their hearts. But it is what it is. Family Matters or Cosby Show, which sitcom is more legendary? Uh, I, ugh, I, I don't want to. I might get in trouble for this one, but I couldn't stand Urkel. Um, yeah, Urkel annoyed me to no end. I couldn't take it. I thought it was way over the top. I thought he was annoying. I didn't think it was funny. I don't know. You said, wait, you didn't say Family Ties. Did you say Family Matters? Yeah, Family Matters. Because Family Ties was good. But no, I hated Urkel passionately. He was almost as bad as that little robot girl, Vicky, whatever show that was. House with William Cat. The only thing I remember William Cat on was Greatest American Hero. Cosby Show. Cosby Show. Listen, we can separate the art from the artist. We can realize that it turns out that Bill Cosby was the worst of the worst. But Cosby Show broke down a lot of barriers, did a lot of great things for people in general. And I will say that Bill Cosby himself, not the person, literally the himself, the one man act he did on stage, his stand up, that one thing that I thought was hilarious. I wouldn't take a drink from him, but it was funny. Family Affair with Mr. French. I remember that wire. I remember Jody and Buffy. What the F is wrong with your kids today? Nothing's wrong with my kids today, good citizen, but thank you. He was a great comedian. And uh, listen, I don't think I would have grown up the same without Fat Albert. I learned a lot from picture pages and Captain Kangaroo. I really hope our generation is one that can lead the charge in separating the art from the artist. You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, then you have nothing of value left. Read up. It was a long post. I got you, good citizen. It's just really tough with a couple hundred people to keep up with long posts. But I always say when it comes to the kids today, I think the worst of the worst that we can see is a very loud and very small minority. I posted snippets from a 1991 Time magazine article talking about how kids, the 20 somethings of the time, were lazy and stragglers and had no respect for authority and had no work ethic and had a 1 minute attention span and couldn't focus on anything. And you read through it and you would swear to God somebody wrote it last week. And it was written, like I said, 30 years ago about us. So, I mean, we can only throw the daggers so hard. I mean, I don't throw stones in a glass house. I think kids learn, and they're learning. And, participation trophy parents, I don't know. I don't think the participation trophy ruined a kid. I don't think acknowledging a kid could ruin a kid. Over acknowledging a kid can ruin a kid. I always joke with my daughters and I say, you know what? I'm really glad I gave you the freedom to share your feelings because I wasn't given that freedom. I was told to, well intentioned, but it's what they would do back then. We were told to ignore it, to put it away, to not. How often were we told, don't think about it? If you don't think about it, it won't bother you. Just ignore it, put it away, and you'll be fine. Today we allow our kids to feel feelings, but what I do joke with them is I don't want you to share all the feelings all the time. You can have a feeling or two, just not all of them all the time. If you're on the team, you're acknowledged. Yeah, I agree with that. WKRP was awesome. Absolutely walk it off, rub some dirt on it. Special and unique, just like everyone else. I can buy that. Good point. Told suck it up, Buttercup. Frasier, great show. Carol Burnett, amazing show. All in the Family was excellent. I'm actually on a podcast with somebody who goes by, his name is Matt. He's a good friend of mine. It's Retro Rewind 80s is his page. It's one of a couple podcasts that I'm doing. And we talked about that. All in the Family was amazing. And it was amazing because the characters on it started in one place and they ended up in another. You get really liberal people attacking Archie Bunker and attacking All in the Family and saying, my God, how could he be the way he is? And then you get really right wing people, and I'm talking the extremes now, guys, who hold him up as some bastion of amazingness. And he was neither. He was a flawed person who loved his family, who had some really bad ideas based on the time and the environment he grew up in. And that was it. And we made fun of some of those bad ideas, and that was that. Do I have a podcast? Yep, you can actually if you go to the video section. So YouTube splits up anything under a minute as shorts and anything over a minute as videos. If you go to the videos section of my YouTube page, you will see 2 Men in a Podcast. And so far we have our first episode up. And if you go to the podcast section of my YouTube page, you can actually listen to a podcast that I have with 2 other friends. Opinion on the flick The Warriors. I could never grab bottles and not do the Warriors thing because of it. Fantasy Island scared the crap out of me. There's Patrick. What's going on, buddy? Fantasy Island scared the hell out of me. The first episodes, the first season wasn't what it became. Exactly, Doreen. Thank you. The first few episodes, the first season of Fantasy Island was creepy as hell. It was very dark. Showed us how to be tolerant of others and ideas. Exactly. You are the best Gen X ambassador. I think we all feel pretty much the same way when it gets down to it. I think we can be agitated. I think, yep, we still do 3 View Mirror podcast. We're retooling it a little bit. We don't want to keep making episodes until we've got stuff completely situated the way we want it. More on that later. Never experienced it, but feared getting the strap in school. I got the paddle in school. Fame, absolutely. Both the movie and the TV show. You guys remember Janet Jackson on Fame? I don't think a lot of people realize just how many shows like Janet Jackson was actually on when we were growing up. There was Fame. She played Willis's girlfriend on Different Strokes. I think her name was Charlene. I can't believe I remember that. She was on Now What's Happening? Good Times. She was on, yep, exactly, Backyard. She was on Good Times. I think she may have even been on different Facts of Life on an episode or two, but I could be wrong. One Day at a Time, good show. Penny on Good Times, that's what it was. Yep. What's going on? Good to see you. Never been paddled in school. Patrick says parents called, which was even worse. I kind of got both. I got spanked in school, and then I got it worse when I got home. My parents, specifically at teacher conferences in front of me, would tell teachers that it was okay to spank me if they needed to. Golden Girls, one of the best written comedies, I think, that's come along in a long time. Laverne and Shirley, it makes me so sad that there's so many shows, like Laverne and Shirley is a good example, that there's only one left. So of the main characters of Laverne and Shirley, I think Lenny, no, yeah, Lenny is the only one that's still with us today. The rest have all passed on. Three's Company, I think it's down to Janet now. Again, of the main. Maybe Larry's still around. I'm not sure. But it just makes me sad. It's crazy. I remember being a kid and watching like I Love Lucy with my mom, and my mom like lamenting over the fact that they were all gone. And I'm like, wow, these people that I'm watching are gone now. And now Laverne and Shirley is kind of the same place for me. It's crazy. Thank you so much, Z Zulion. Larry is still around. Okay, good. But so many of the people we grew up watching, Night Court, Bull passed away, what was it, a year or 2 years ago? Gilligan's Island, I think Ginger may be around still. Sliding in late, good to see you, Jillian. Night Court was good. I didn't watch the remake. They did a reboot or a remake or a revisit. Not really a reboot, just brought it back. Feels like losing friends. It kind of does. Like there's certain people that pass on that are celebrities, and I don't ever want to be one of those people that over infatuate with a celebrity. They're not really our friends, but you watch them long enough, and there's a feeling of loss. Without a doubt, Kirstie Alley did that for me. I was sad for a couple days when she passed on because between Cheers and Look Who's Talking and just a lot of stuff. I remember seeing her when I was really young. I had a crush on her, even from like North and South. She was on a mini series called North and South back in the day. Matthew Perry passing on, kind of really put me back for a minute. That one more so because of his youth or what I think is young. Getting old sucks. Hell of a lot better than the alternative. Swayze, absolutely. Battle of the Network Stars. I'm trying to think of a way. Luke Perry, I forgot he passed on. Robin Williams hurt. Trying to think of a way to do a Battle of the Network Stars video that does it justice. Because just showing clips won't do it. It wasn't really so much about the clips. It's really hard to explain to kids today what it was like being able to see Chachi in a pool swimming against Adam Rich, Nicholas from Eight is Enough. It was cool watching William Shatner next to, I don't know, Tony Danza. It was just cool. And we watched, and it was a special, and they had these amazing, really cool events. Even watching them play Simon Says was fun. They literally had a Simon Says expert that would come on and do Simon Says with them, and it was awesome. George Carlin hurt a lot when he passed. Yeah, Adam Rich died, I think, last year. Eddie Van Halen. Yeah, Adam Rich did pass away. John Ritter, Matthew Perry, they had the ability to reach through the screen with their humor. Robin Williams did it too. They made us feel like we knew them. And plus, when someone makes you laugh that much, it's sad when they go in a different way. Ralph Macchio still looks 25. Is Nimoy around? No, Nimoy passed away. Of that crew, it's Sulu. His real name escapes me at the moment, and William Shatner. William Shatner's still going strong. I say that, and now I feel like I'm going to jinx him. Jillian says, let's see, I still get sad over Robin Williams. Spock did die. Oh my God, John, you just shocked the hell out of me. Didn't know Kirstie Alley passed away. Yeah, it's been a couple years now. Michelle, thank you so much for your support, guys. Michelle McDaniel, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it more than I can say. Glenn Fry passed away. Sulu is George Takei. You're right. George Takei, Sulu from Star Trek. Didn't Kentucky from Grease pass? Kaniki, yes, he did. Or from Taxi, both the same way. Let's get on to happier topics. Ginger is still alive from Happy Days. That's happier. Adam West just found out he died. Christine, that is so funny. If you watch this week's episode of Two Men in a Podcast, which I think Matt is going to release in a couple days, I just found out during that podcast episode, literally 2 days ago, that that Adam West died. I also found out Matt is the one thing you guys will find out about my friend Matt. He has a lot of information we don't necessarily know, we don't need to know. One of which is that Adam West, 60s Batman star, did some very questionable soft porn Skinamax movies after he got done with Batman because it was really hard for him to find work. So, yeah, he died. Yeah, he died like years ago, 2019, 2018. I had to look it up. Henry Wickler's still with us. Let me see what else. So, what do we celebrate this week? I can tell you Sylvester Stallone just had a birthday. He turned 78. Um, Holly James, you watching Afraid of Me turn into Galveston? Oh, God, any of you guys that are watching for that tornado, that hurricane watch, I'm praying with you guys. But yeah, 78 for Rocky blows my mind. The guy is a beast still, too. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I'm like, I bet you damn straight, without a doubt, he could still take me down. Without a doubt, if he could catch me. Trips me out how old he is. But you know what? Sylvester Stallone isn't one of those where I can't believe how old he is because I was really young when he was Rocky. So I'm not really young anymore. So it kind of makes sense to me that he's old, but I just love the fact that he is ripped and still a beast and still lets me know that I have time to get back into some sort of shape. Because if he did it at 78, I can do it at 54. I loved Rocky movies. I don't think they really jump at the shark. The first one was awesome. The second one was better. Drago, I mean, it doesn't get better than that. The soundtrack, amazing movies. Over the Top was a really good bad movie. Watching him flip his hat around and take his thumb and push. I mean, come on, whoever thought that an arm wrestling movie would be that good? The boss says it trips me out how old I am. Now, there you got something. Round is a shape. Sly is coming back to TV in the fall. Tango and Cash was a good bad movie. Jason, thank you. Rocky's daughters are gorgeous. I wouldn't expect anything else, but I bet you they have a hard time getting dates. I wouldn't want to get to the door and see Sly at the door deciding whether or not to get to take his daughters out. But they are beautiful. I love good bad movies. Sometimes there is nothing better than a good bad movie. Just you sit there and you can talk through it and you don't really have to pay attention, memorize the lines, just make fun of it. What is your favorite good bad movie? Teen Witch is up there for me. What's going on? Hyde Park Ninjas is in the house. How you doing, Mike? I did a video with the whole top that bad rap, suburban rap from Teen Witch. And I didn't think anybody would remember it. I didn't think anybody would know what I was talking about because in its theatrical release, the first weekend Teen Witch was out, it made less than $4,000 during its entire theatrical time. Teen Witch only made about 40,000. So there's some movies that a lot of us have watched, but we all watched them on HBO, when HBO would just take these bad movies that were cheap for HBO to get and show them over and over and over again. Howard the Duck was another one. Howard the Duck did really badly in the theater. If you remember watching Howard the Duck, I would guess you didn't see it in the theater, even if you think you did, because not many people did. Yeah, Robin Lively. She is, what's the other Lively? She's the older sister of, I don't remember. I'm not good at celebrity names that exist sub past 19 Blake Lively. Blake Lively's older sister. Howard the Duck was a WTF movie. Yeah, yeah, especially the bed scene. That was yeah. Mannix, that's a good one. Did you guys see the original Tron? The original Tron was a pretty good bad movie. I loved it as a kid. I saw it recently. It's a good bad movie. The Duck Condoms. Heavy Metal was a great movie in my youth. Absolutely. Oh, I love Tron too, but it doesn't hold up as well as you might think it does. Shawshank Redemption did poorly at the cinema. That surprises me. I actually saw Shawshank Redemption for the first time about a month ago. Amazing movie. Weekend at Bernie's. You think that's a good bad movie or just a good movie? I think it's a good movie. Adventures in Babysitting is a good bad movie. Kiss Meets the Phantom. I remember that. Logan's Run. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Best, worst movie ever. I never saw the movie. Luke Perry and, oh, what was her name? Swanson? I don't remember her name. Somebody will say it, but a great show. Buffy the Vampire, the show was absolutely awesome. If you like comic books, that was a great show. Christy Swanson. Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'll Fight You. That was not a bad movie. That was a work of art. The Wraith, saw that only on HBO, but I probably saw it 30 different times on HBO, over and over and over again. Christy Swanson. Yep, she was the original Buffy. Urban Cowboy, I didn't see. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, I did see. Airport movies, I only remember the one, the Airport 79. Rocky Horror Picture Show is a great bad movie. Firestarter with Drew Barrymore. I actually liked the movie. I'm actually okay with it. I loved the book. And I thought they played it pretty close to the book. So I kind of liked it. And I thought Little Drew did a pretty decent job. Top Gun, good movie. Top Gun, good movie, but doesn't hold up as well as I thought it would. There are some really cheesy, and don't hate me, but there are some really cheesy moments in Top Gun that you're like, what were they thinking? Like the thing Ice does with his teeth, when like, or was it Ice that does it, or was it Tom that does it? I think Tom does it. Maverick's like, yeah, that's right. I am dangerous. It was just weird. It was just very, very strange. And they were way, 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 way too comfortable getting really close to one another while wearing towels in the locker room. You ladies, we really don't act like that when we're in the locker room. At least I don't. Top Gun is still awesome. I will say, it was Iceman. Okay. I will say that Goose didn't have to die. I don't think it added anything necessarily, and it pissed me off. I loved Goose. I think Goose should have been in every sequel. I think Goose should have gotten old and ran into politics and became president and had a good long life with Meg Ryan and their beautiful children. And I don't think they could have killed somebody else. It was Iceman. I thought it was the Chomper, but I don't remember. Goose rocked. X-Wing or TIE Fighter. Definitely X-Wing. And I actually had the toy. I loved that thing. Trilogy of Terror, The Entity. I don't know The Entity. Shall we play a game? War Games. I probably watched, God, I don't know how many times. Love that movie. Van Damme Street Fighter. I loved how Van Damme would always do the thing where he would do the split at some point in every movie. That was pretty cool. To Wong Fu. My wife loves that one. Someone never saw Top Gun. That's hard to believe. Sleepaway Camp. Conan the Barbarian. Critters. Bloodsport. God, we've all seen a lot of movies. Labyrinth did really, really, really poorly at the theater. Really horrible box office numbers. And yet so many of us saw it that it must have been like on video or at the on HBO, but did really badly. Unsolved Mystery, we can go to television for a bit. You guys remember shows like that? We grew up on so many of those unsolved mystery type shows, which should have just kept us awake all night long, every night. Big one for me like that was In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. We mentioned Leonard Nimoy. No, Beaches did not have low ratings. Beaches did phenomenally well. Beaches did incredibly well at the box office because it had the incredible Bette Midler in it, whose voice is like an angel. For those that don't know, I have this weird thing about Beaches, apparently. Horrible movie. But I got dragged to it with a girlfriend, and it was incredibly sad. And I I don't understand why anybody would want to go see a movie like that and be sad. But ever since then, every time it's on and I start seeing it, I watch it all the way through. Jillian, I can talk 80s all night. Thank you. You're welcome. Happy 1 month anniversary as an Xer. Barbara Walters specials. Oh, yeah, she made everyone cry. I always mention Bad Ronald. I don't think I know Bad Ronald. In Living Color was awesome. I actually published a video on In Living Color today. It was with Handyman. Do you guys remember Handyman? Handyman was really bad. Really, really, really bad. It was what's his face? Damn it. I'm drawing a blank on the name again. Somebody will say it. Come on. It was one of the Wayne brothers. Yeah. He played using the vernacular of the day, a handicapped superhero whose symbol was like a wheelchair handicap space. And it was so bad. He did everything you could imagine to pretend to be disabled in the worst possible way. And then he ended up getting a sidekick, Mighty Midget, I think they called her, who was a little person. Horrible, horrible, but freaking funny as hell. Yep, it was one of the Wayans brothers. When you were a kid, did I watch Solid Gold? I did. I did with Marilyn McCoo, I think her name was. Solid Gold, we watched all those things. We would listen to Weekly Top 40 or Bandstand and then watch Solid Gold. I loved watching people perform. I loved watching the bands we liked. Solid Gold had great production value. It was cool. Plus, pretty ladies in very skimpy outfits. So, best hair band? Oh, gee, that's tough, man. Because we grew up with a lot of them. I've got an affinity for Warrant and Rat just because I think those are two people don't normally jump right onto. Soul Train was at the forefront of things too, without a doubt, Paul. MTV when it was good. We all bash on MTV going away from music, but I will say that MTV needed to go away from music videos because people stopped watching. There was a classic MTV channel on cable. Most of us that had cable 5 years ago were able to get it. Nobody was really watching it. The moment had passed. We're very lucky that we were the generation. Good evening, John. We were the generation that got to appreciate MTV because if it relaunched today and just did music videos in an era where YouTube exists, where it wouldn't work. Yeah, MTV too. Exactly, Jillian. It just wouldn't work. It was a very specific moment in time that was amazing for us. And we were lucky to get there. The A Team, incredible. Skid Row, good one. Cinderella, good one. I see. I didn't have cable right away, so I had the poor person's version of MTV, which was Night Tracks and Friday Night Videos. Internet killed everything. Yeah, if MTV, if video killed the radio star, then the internet killed MTV. 120 minutes on Sunday nights. And that was the cool thing about MTV, I will say, is that they exposed a lot of us to music we might not have been exposed to. I wouldn't have listened to the songs that were featured on 120 minutes on the radio, but I would watch it there. Yo MTV Raps introduced me to a lot of different music. MTV was really good about that. And even VH1, which was like the older, kinder, gentler version of MTV that was kind of monitored or put out there. What's going on, Frankie? Welcome to the Gen X Avengers. Thank you for joining up, man. If anybody sees those, full disclosure, it doesn't give you superpowers. Despite the superhero stuff associated with it, what it does is just allows you to support the page on a monthly basis with a small donation, I guess. But I appreciate it. MTV let us see who we were listening to. And then, it did one other thing. If you ask kids today here's a test. I'm going to say a song. And the song is You Can Call Me Al by Paul Simon, or Take on Me by Aha, or 99 Red Balloons, or Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bengals. I can almost guarantee when I said those names to you, when I listed those songs, we all saw the same images play through our head. We saw Chevy Chase and Paul Simon playing the instruments. We saw the actual videos from those songs and not just hearing the words. Kids today won't do that. People before us didn't do that either. People before us, if you said, Beach Boys or whatever the boomers thing was, they would hear the song in their head. They may even associate it with somewhere they were when they were listening to the song. But only Generation X immediately sees the comic strip, the hand coming out, when we hear Take On Me by Aha. The video has become our memory associated with the song. And that's another really, really cool thing. We see the videos when we hear the song. German vision version was better. Can't absolutely agree. Visuals were such a great association. Thriller. You can't hear Thriller without seeing the dance. And I'm glad it's like that. It's really cool. And I do miss that. And then you want to know one other thing associated with music. So we've done people, we've done movies, we've done TV shows a little bit. Let's go to one other thing with music. And I didn't realize this until my daughter brought it up to me, but we were watching Footloose. And one of the Almost Paradise, I think it was Almost Paradise, one of the slow songs came on from the album. And they don't really have slow songs anymore. Like every album we bought, even if you bought a hairband cassette tape, even if you bought a soundtrack, there was at least one or two slow songs on every single soundtrack, on every single album. And when we went to dances in school, we always had some of those slow songs play. Very rare right now. Slow songs don't exist so much, and they're gone. And I didn't even realize that until my daughter said, "Wow, you guys had a lot of slow songs." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, of course." She goes, "We don't. Ballads, they just really not as much." And even when it's a slower tempo song, it's not a dim the lights, dance at your middle school dance kind of slow song. Kiss by Beth by Kiss, 1,000%. Faithfully by Journey, 1,000%. Sister Christian, which then got a little faster, which made it a little difficult in the middle. But yes, all of those. And I remember them. John Kotrides for president. This year I might have a chance. I don't know. I think this is the year when if anyone could just say, "Hey, how about me instead of them?" They might have a chance. I really like slow song. Kids today don't have the attention span. I don't know. We don't know until we put it out there. Maybe. I Remember You by Skid Row. These are great songs, though. And you remember the boy or the girl you danced with. And it was enough. It was enough. I mean, I remember, and I told my daughter, we would have a high school dance or a middle school dance. Started in middle school. In middle school, we probably had them every month because a different club would sponsor the dance, and you'd pay your $1 or $2, and it would go to the drama club or the French club or the losers in the science club. No offense to any losers from science club, AV club. Speaking of the cool kids, we would go every month, and some of us would dance and some of us wouldn't. There would always be girls crying in the hallway because there were new relationships spawning at every dance and old ones breaking up at every dance. I want to know what love is, Take It on the Run. How about those Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer? Great song. Not one I slow dance to. Hard Habit to Break by Chicago. Yeah, there were the dances in the gym. Absolutely. Oh my, only time you could touch a girl. Yeah, not the only time. But if you're talking about me, yeah, the only time. Um, I saw somebody say coming to Charlotte. Holly Daly and you actually danced. Yeah. Saw somebody say they're coming to Charlotte. Hungry Eyes. Though what I was gonna say though is the toughest song was the one that kind of got fast in the middle. Like it would start off slow, but in the middle it would speed up, and you never really knew what to do. I moved to the Carolinas. I grew up in Western New York. Peter Gabriel is my all-time favorite artist. Baby Come Back, Total Eclipse of the Heart, Stairway to Heaven. You better pick your partner well. That was the thing about Stairway to Heaven. There were some of those. American Pie was another one. You better know what you're doing because you're going to be with them for a little while. Buckle up, grab a snack, stay hydrated because the song went on for like 11 minutes. Yeah, there's no exit ramp that was quickly coming up. Brian Adams was the king of the slow dances. Agreed. Driving and Crying is coming to Charlotte. Okay. I don't know what that means. In Excess, I actually saw them in concert. Great concert. Nah, just make out. Someone says the long songs. Phil Collins. There was a time in the 80s when Phil Collins was every third song played on the radio. Everything I do for you. Stairway to Heaven was my first slow dance, and he probably just finished about 20 minutes ago. I mean, that's a really long song. Austin. Tears for Fears. I love Phil Collins too. I liked him in Genesis a lot. I liked him individually. Billy Joel, huge Billy Joel fan. Take It Easy, Casey Lee. Great talking to you as well. NXS was fun. I want to do a video where I get some of the kids in my neighborhood and redo the Mediate video where they're just throwing the cards down, but I want to dress up the little kids as members of NXS, put them in black and white and do that. I think that'd be a fun video. Dokken. I never saw Dokken in concert. It was the band you never got to see, but you wish you had seen live. Oh, that's a tough one. Genesis just came to Charlotte, and I regret not going, but I didn't want to see them the first and only time when Phil was doing as rough as he seems to be doing. I regret I didn't get to see them earlier. I've seen Peter Gabriel, I've seen Billy Joel, I've seen Elton John, I've seen Journey, I've seen REO, I've seen a lot of bands. Nirvana would have been a fun concert. I can agree with that. Elton John, I've seen. Styx would have been a great concert. Styx would have been a really great concert. So you're supporting Smash That Like, guys. How many are we up to? Only 113 likes? I always forget to ask that. Somehow that brings more people in, but I'm pretty happy with the people we got. But yeah, smash that like button. We got a little bit longer that we're going to be going here. See if we can get to like, I don't know, 500, 300, 200, 114 likes maybe. Elvis for sure. I remember being a little kid. So I'm middle of the road Gen Xer. I remember being a little kid and Elvis confused me because I always did, I couldn't put together that the Elvis that I saw on Sundays on the beach, like it seemed like Sundays was the day when they would replay all of Elvis's old movies and juxtapose that against the Elvis that I saw on prime time doing like the Las Vegas specials. Like I thought Soldier Beach Elvis was a different person from messed up fat Elvis. I as a kid, I remember specifically my older brother having to have a discussion with me and tell me that they are the same person. I did not realize they were the same person. Click 3 dots in the upper right hand corner to hit the like. Seen AC/DC 6 times. Yeah, where did they try to move like buttons and all kinds of things to confuse us? Elvis 72 Aloha from Hawaii tour. I was born and raised in Vegas. I saw the Elvis movie. It was very good. Beastie Boys would have been a good concert. All right, let's go on. Toys. Give me a toy you always wanted and never got, or conversely, a toy that you were desperate to have and somehow you broke the streak and actually got it. Frank, take care, my friend. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Hey, you guys. Kansas in 82 would be a good concert. Mini bike? I got a mini bike. My first mini bike was a Honda GT80, or was it a Yamaha GT80? Honda. Anyway, I got one. Teddy Ruxpin actually got that one too. My younger brother had it, but we shared. Easy Bake Oven. That's a cool one. I can say I never had that. Didn't get toys. Stretch Armstrong. I didn't ever get a Stretch Armstrong. Wanted one. I think I wanted one just so I can cut into the little bastard to see what was inside of him. But yeah, I wanted a Stretch. Never got him. Masters of the Universe. Suzuki. Big wheel. I had a big wheel. Funny story. My parents didn't buy it. We had a 5 and dime store in town that burnt down. And in the rubble, I found an old big wheel. Well, it was a new big wheel, but because it was in a fire, it had become an old big wheel far before its time. And I remember pulling it out at the age of 10. I pulled it out of the rubble, and that was my big wheel. But what I wanted was a green machine and never got it. Evil Knievel wind-up bike. That's a good one. See, now we have adult money. Not a lot of it, but a little bit of it. And I'm starting to use my adult money now. Like I'm all happy to buy stuff that I wanted as a kid. And you would think it wouldn't be the same. Like people would say, yeah, you can buy it now, but is it really the same? And I got to tell you, yes, Yes, it's the same. I'm very close to pulling the trigger on a Millennium Falcon, which is the end all be all absolute toy that I wanted more than anything and never got. Um, it's just hard to pull the trigger on it because it's a fair amount of adult money. It's more than just throwaway adult money. So and what I mean by that, that's just my fancy way of saying my wife would kill me because I say no to a lot of stuff that we can't get. So that would probably get me in trouble, but I want a Millennium Falcon. Sit and spin. I think we had one of those. Soccer boppers. Yep, I got those on Amazon. Farrah Fawcett Playboy issue. Took it from my dad. I didn't know she wasn't Playboy. I assume it was probably one of those artsy, tastefully done nudes. So yeah, that doesn't count. Hey John, my son is printing a 3-foot Millennium Falcon, a 3D printer in the basement. Message me for my address. You can get that over to me anytime. I'm good with that. Appreciate you. Nintendo system. I had an NES. We played Tecmo Bowl every single day over and over again. I had the Steve. I had a lot of toys, I guess. I had a Merlin. I had the $6 million man head, where you could look through his head, the action figure, and use his bionic eye. But you got to remember, I'm one of 3 boys. So we had a lot of toys because we all wanted the same toys. So, like, I'm thinking back now, a lot of the toys that I remember playing with that I got were from my brothers, too. Speaking of brothers and sisters and siblings, this is my 12-year-old sweetheart. This is my beautiful girl, my daughter, love of my life. Absolute. What are you doing? Where'd you go? This is my baby. We're going to Florida tomorrow. Go visit her grandmother.
I just said bye to Willow.
You just said bye to Willow. Did mommy take her to your aunt's? Oh, you sad? It's okay.
I just kept like looking out the window when I was saying bye.
It's okay. It'll go by fast. Yep, this is my daughter. Marie says, hi, Cleo. How are you? Beautiful girl. She is amazing. She's the sweetest, kindest, funniest, most amazing kid in the face of on the what part of Florida? Just south of Tampa Bay. It's very hot right now. Yeah, I'm aware. It's hot here now, too. Patrick says, hi, Cleo.
Hi.
Remember when my daughter was that old? She is a cutie and she's sweet and she puts up with her dad and she makes videos with me sometimes and she has my eyes. And you have a great dad, somebody said. And she knows Gen X stuff, especially the music. She loves our music. Do I remember Pop Rocks? I remember Pop Carts Rocks, and I remember that we all thought Mikey died because he mixed them with Coke. She has your eyes, but she's got better hair. The fact that I have any hair makes me happy. I'm good. I'm holding on. I swim in Rogaine daily. I fill up the entire tub just to hold on to what I got. She's like a mini me. Agreed. What year were you born? I'm a 1970. Hello to daughter, raising her right. She loves our music. And she knows, like, I'll be playing something and she sings to it. And it blows my mind. They know so much of our music that it's incredible. How? Where do you hear it?
TikTok.
TikTok a lot. They really do. They've embraced our music in a way that we did not embrace our parents' music. She's listening to 40-year-old music on a regular basis. Who picks the playlist for the trip tomorrow? Things are a little different these days. I mean, we all can pretty much curate our own stuff. Kids are back there with their headphones on a lot of the trip.
I mean, Stefani usually takes the ox.
Yes, and her older sister usually takes the ox. I used to live near McDill in South Tampa. Gotcha. We used to live briefly in Bradenton area. You can stand anywhere you want. Does she know the Eagles? I bet you she would know a couple of the songs from the Eagles. You good? Come on this side. Come on this side.
Oh wait, I don't know why I would need the chair.
I don't think you need the chair.
Yeah.
Missed Boomer by a year. Whoa! I almost knocked this down. That would have been bad. Jenny, what's Jenny's number? I don't know if she'd know Jenny's number. That song 867 530 867 530. No, not that one. You got her on that one. 8675309. Jenny, I got your number. I need to make you mine. No. I'll have to play it for her. But we do a couple of videos where the songs play, and she does all right, believe it or not. Oh, it's starting to storm.
It was like really bad lightning.
Thank you for the earworm. You're welcome. Jenny, who can I turn to? Can recite the song without singing it, 1980, so I just made it. I honestly am one of the few Gen Xers that think that Gen X should have gone to 85. Before us, generations would be typically a 20-year time span. And then we came along and like, yeah, no, you get 15. But I think 65 to 85 makes a lot of sense. Because, and people are like, no, the people in the early wouldn't have anything. 65 to 70 is really one version of Gen X anyway. 70 to 75 is also a little different. So I think things change. Cleo, you going down? Okay, baby. Love you. Jono, does your daughter know how to walk like an Egyptian? That one she knows. All right, so here's the deal. We're not going to Tampa tomorrow. She doesn't know. I'm pretty psyched about that. So probably gonna have to wrap this up soon because we're getting up really early to go. But I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to see it. What did you say? I knew that was coming. I know she knows Wild Thing. Yeah, we actually did a song where she did that one. Yeah, I probably will record the reveal. Where do I live? We live just south of Charlotte. Yeah, I will. I absolutely will, Melinda. Remember when our parents would do stuff like that? Plan these elaborate things, these huge surprises, and yeah, no, not so much. Me neither. She will. She'll go nuts. Keep up the good work. You rock. Yeah, so watch. We'll be doing content throughout Florida all week next week. A lot of it will be specific to the area. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be pricey, but it'll be fun. Never been. It's a good time. Should have a blast. Oh, absolutely. Doing it all. Do you guys remember road trips when we were kids? This is the last thing I'll finish up on. Road trips for us were so different. I was thinking about doing one because now it's like plug in the GPS on the phone and take off. Before, it was my dad like opening the map and painstakingly. Thank you again, Michelle. Thank you so much. That'll go to good use next week, I promise. Just planning the trip and the roads. And when we'd get invariably lost, and my mother would always realize we were lost before my father realized it or would admit to it. No, we're still in the right place. I know where we're going. And then eventually, no, they didn't. Now, my parents' English, especially when I was real little, was sketchy. Greek immigrants and all that. So they would send me and my older brother into the gas station to get directions. And then we had to come back and relay those directions in Greek so that my dad would understand them. We didn't fare very well. Usually it took more than a few times, but then we would do that. So there would be that part of it. Then there was the food. Today we can go to any restaurant and I'll take one of them to Wendy's, one to Burger King, one to McDonald's. I'll get sushi, I'll get Starbucks, whatever they want. I don't care. But for us, it was my mom packing enough food to feed a small village. We didn't stop. If you had to go to the bathroom, you held it. Uh, yeah, always in Greek. We had a rule in my family that we only spoke Greek in the house and only English outside of the house. Proud Americans, speaking American when we were outside, English when we were outside, but my parents wanted us to remember our language. So yeah, but my mom brought tons of food, so much food. It was crazy. You think we were going like we'd go to Canada to visit my aunt in Toronto, which should have been like a 3-hour trip. All in with my dad getting lost, it probably turned into 6. But even with that, my mom had enough food that we were fine. We survived easily. Brent, thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, it'll go to good use this week, I promise. But yeah, then there was the fighting. Then there were the threats to pull the car over. Then there was my mother's hand coming over the back of the seat so ninja like that half of the time we didn't realize she was doing it, and we'd take it upside the back of the head. Every now and again, her hand wasn't enough. And if you lived in upstate New York, Western New York, my mom would use the snow brush, and we prayed it was the brush end and not the ice scraper end. Can't hear anything? Can you guys hear me? I assume you can hear me. There were the games we played just to keep ourselves occupied. We played this game called When I Go on the Moon, and it was like a memory game. Did anybody play that? You say, when I go on the moon, I will bring my microphone. And then the next person would say, when I go on the moon, I'll bring my microphone and my dog. And then you just keep building it. It was like a memory game. We played that until my parents told us to stop. We played I Spy, played all kinds of license plate games, Punch Bug. When I Go Island, Island was another one. Alphabet game, I remember playing that. Slug Bug, we called it Punch Bug. Punch Buggy, yep. Dude, getting a beat down on the side of the highway. Dude, there was nothing that put you in check more quickly than looking at the side of the road and seeing a kid getting smacked down on it was like a warning to the rest of the world. Why parents felt it needed to be a public specimen. And I don't think it started out. I think if I'm really thinking it through, I don't think it started out as a parent saying, okay, I'm pulling over, I'm going to drag you out of the car, and I'm going to spank you. I think the way it started with me usually was I really had to go to the bathroom. And my dad's like, fine, I'm pulling over. And I didn't want to go to the bathroom on the side of the road. So my dad would drag me out of the car so that I would go on the side of the road. And somehow during the process, I'd annoy him enough that I would get smacked. So I think that's how that beating usually happened on the side of the road. Because there's no need to go outside. He just beat us in the privacy and comfort of his own car. Grocery store spanking was the worst. The worst, Brent, was any public spanking where you caught eyes with someone you knew midway. Like the beating started, you're taking it, you realize this is not a new happening. Kimmy, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Nothing was the embarrassment, was the shame of getting spanked where your friends could see you. Making eye, and your friends made fun of a lot of things. If the poor kid in school had to wear pants that didn't quite fit anymore, we mocked that. We mocked anything and everything early and often, but there was like an unwritten rule that if you saw a friend getting a beat down publicly, that was off for me. That was off limits. That one you kept your mouth shut. You didn't laugh because you knew you'd be next, and you just you empathized because you knew what it was like. That was the worst. Sharon, anyone who knew my name had permission to spank me. I think they made us go to the bathroom on the side of the road because the rest stops had vending machines. Good point. What about Betamax movies? I always had a VHS. High waters. Oh yeah, what, were you expecting a flood? Dad continued to drive while he beat us. My dad let my mother handle that while he was driving. If he had to stop driving, it never ended well. At all. At all. Got hit twice for laughing. Church spankings. Any place where you really were supposed to have a modicum of respect, especially if you had siblings. I don't know about you only children out there, but church, especially during weddings or God forbid funerals, was a very dangerous place for the giggles to take hold of you. Shoes called buddies. I didn't have buddies. Me and my brothers would set ourselves apart giggling like nobody's business, and that would cause beatings. How are you doing, Bear Dad and Tattooed Guy? Good to see you. My brothers and I would get into giggle fits, and there was just once it came on you, you could be getting smacked and it hurt, and you still couldn't stop giggling. It just really caught you. And for me, it was Megan. It really was. It was funerals. A funeral would just set us off, and I don't know why. Maybe it was because we were nervous. Maybe it's because of the emotional weight of the situation. I don't know. God knows feelings weren't something we were comfortable with. So, yeah, but reverent, revered, respectful situations were bad. Church was bad. Waiting in line at J.C. Penney or Owen Mills or any of those places to get your pictures taken was dangerous, because not only then were you expected to keep quiet and stand there and wait, but you also had to make sure you didn't mess up your hair. You didn't mess up your clothing. You didn't do any of those things. That was a beating too. I remember my mom spanking me. She's like, "You ruined what you're wearing," and then she ruined me. That was bad. Catholic school spankings. My brother farted very loudly during my great grandfather's funeral. You're welcome. I appreciate it. Guys, I enjoy sharing this nostalgia with you, and I get as much out of the comments as you guys do, I'm sure. But listen, it is up early tomorrow, so we are gonna finish up. Here's a couple things. Number one, I cannot tell you guys, I appreciate so much the continued support, both here through gifts and through memberships, and just sharing and commenting and liking the posts that I do here and anywhere else. I really appreciate it. If you've seen a lot of my shorts, not my shorts, but my short videos. Take a look on the video side of my content. Look at the longer form. Check out two men in a podcast. I think you'll probably like it because it's a little more adult commenting than it is here on a live. Not bad, nothing bad, but Matt gets the best of me more often than not. And gets me to say things that I otherwise probably wouldn't say. So check out the long form videos. And then finally, just make sure you guys are back here. Our trip ends Sunday night of next week. So we're gone from Monday to Sunday. I'm not, if I will be on, it will be on at 8 o'clock. But it depends on how early we leave Florida and how long it takes us to get back. It might be a late Sunday night live, or it may not happen at all. But I will try. If not, I will try to do something else. I've tried, so there we do collaborations. Dad Bod was invited. We did just a quick, fun little hide and seek collaboration. If you guys haven't seen it, and a lot of people are on there, but we do have a group that we talk together, and Dad Bod's in it, and Sherry Dindle's in it. I'm in it. GenX, Shell, Gina, all the Gen X era content creators you follow are probably in that group, and everyone is invited on each and every collaboration. Some have time to do it, some don't. Thank you guys so much. Again, thank you for everything. I hopefully will see you back here next week. If not, I will see you all week with some Florida level content. Giving you guys all the love in the world. Peace. Oh, I'm sorry.